You see here, hi guys and gals, Friday, end of the day, it's the weekend. Well, the weekend would be a little bit more fun, but there's a couple things. Mrs. DC's been sick all week, and the next thing is that I'm filling out the tax forms on the weekend. Yeah, income tax. Gonna do that over here, at least in the part of Switzerland where I live. I think we're the first ones at the end of February. The forms have to be off, so I fill them out like on this weekend in case something goes wrong and I need something else. So, what's today's chat about? A couple things that I've noticed in the newspapers this week and online, which kind of made me think how we can be hypocrites at times. Now, I don't mean we in the sense of us, but we in the sense of our generation, our world these days, I guess. Okay, let's start off. You've probably, at least those in America, and I saw it online, the halftime Doritos commercial. Well, for those of you that didn't see it, ladies giving birth, they're scanning, you can see the child on the screen, the upcoming child on the screen, and the father's more or less sensibly eating Doritos, and the baby is going wild within the womb and basically expulses itself out to go and grab, or wants to grab, the Dorito. Okay, that's about it. So, I mean, you can see the whole idea was that Doritos are so good that it even brings that child out faster. Well, whatever, anyway. Well, believe it or not, there have been comments or complaints by pro-abortion groups that have complained that basically this commercial was showing the unborn child, which, goodness sakes, don't use the word child, the fetus, as a living thing, as a living being, more or less, or something like that, almost as a person. Anyway, I thought, like, okay, tell that to the mom just before or while her pregnancy's on. But anyway, let's not get into that. Anyway, so you can see, okay, then there was something in Huffington Post, I think it was this week, and Huffington Post is very often quite liberal. Liberal, I say it in the political sense of the word, it's not the way I see it, but anyway. Where there was a picture of a scan again of, it was a very nice little story, I mean, a nice picture, scan of fraternal twins in the womb. I think the little girl, or should I say female, because it's in the womb. Anyway, the little girl was, I think it was dying, and the little boy was holding her hand. I mean, that was the pictures in the womb. Now, I guess that went viral, and everybody was going on about, the emotions and the cuteness and so on of these two children or whatever. Getting on to that, I was saying, like, okay, all of a sudden, it seems like it's okay to talk about two fetuses in the womb all of a sudden become children. Now, those of you who are my age, and I'm not even trying to get into the abortion debate and so on. We've all had to do that. Remember when we were in high school, that was the big debate all the time, ad nauseum. But the thing is that when we were talking about if somebody was pregnant, if a baby was coming, we weren't always trying to be so darn politically correct. Often the vlogs lately are about political correctness because it just kind of takes away spontaneity, and you always got to think. Most people are like, oh, you can't say that, and so on. Okay, next thing. In Quebec, I saw that some famous movie producer, I won't give his name, has been, well, he's dead now, but has been found in his latest biography to be a pedophile. Okay, well, of course now there's the big debate, how do you remember the person? Well, towns are renaming their streets. There's a festival or prizes which were given in his name. Their names have been changed. And, I mean, there are artists, friends of his, which are going on and saying, oh, was a great artist, let's just remember that, and, gloss over all the other stuff. It was his own private business and so on. Well, it's hard to go at that one, because for some people, if a person wasn't a well-known person, you would not gloss over it. You would tar and feather the person. And the one artist wrote it, oh well, in today's age where we can gloss over and accept homosexual rights, LGBT, what's the big deal? And I thought, like, wait a minute, blinkers going on here. It didn't take long, basically, if you start putting homosexual and pedophile together. We don't want to do that. There's a lot of that in there. But when you start glossing over and being so-called politically correct, at one point or another, other things come over. Hypocrisies go one way or another, and it's not always easy to make the balance of those things. That's like the Scalia story. The judge that, you all know, especially those of you who live in America. Well, of course, you can imagine that the Democrats and the Republicans are going at one another. And of course, now the Democrats are saying, you can't stop, you can't filibuster, you can't do that. And all of a sudden, well, of course, what do you think? Memories are there. The Republicans are saying, what did you guys do a while back? Now, I don't know about the Alito story and so on, but the Democrats are immediately saying, oh, it wasn't the same. Well, that is basically what I'm getting at, is that in all of these stories, the way the world changes, but not only the way the world changes, which side of the political scale or which side of the ideological scale that you are, when you look at the others, you're always saying you can't do that. There's a simple, basically a simple story that actually comes from the Bible. It's like, before you talk about taking that, pointing at the speck in your, speck of dust in your opposite person's or your friend's eyes, why don't you look at the post that's in yours? And I think that's a bit it. How many, it's probably lessons learned for myself as well as, I guess, all of us, is that should we, the old saying, turn our tongue a few times before talking and look at the situation? Maybe. Anyway. And kind of a rant vlog, I guess, because I've been seeing these things in the newspapers lately and thinking like, okay, when the shoe fits, but it seems like if people look correctly, the shoe fits all the time, but very often you should look at your own feet. A rose is a rose, no matter what the name is. Okay, DC signing off on this rant. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.